Hi, so this is the fifth movie review I'm doing of childhood films. And this is a film from my teenage years that I loved. And I'm going to discuss it now in a minute. I'm just going to say that this film was something that was very inspiring to me as a teenager, as well as an actor. And the actor who played in the movie, um, I'm going to get to him in a minute again, is an actor who that everyone knows, I think. He inspired a lot of actors, and as a teenager, he was the rebel without a cause, the one and only James Dean. So, as a teenager, I loved James Dean. He was the best actor, ever for me. I mean, I have the film here, Rebel Without a Cause, that was taped on the TV when I was 15. My mother or my sister, this was the original cassette tape that they would have taped it off the TV over something else. See, but I know it's backwards, like all my other videos, because this got the mirror reflection, so you can't see the writing. It looks like backwards. Anyway, that says "Rebel Without a Cause." You can't see it right there. Yeah, and that light reflection as well. So anyway, and yeah, there's no whites there, but yeah, no, the video looks okay. Yeah, again, reflection of the light. Yeah, but you can see that it looks okay. And there, near the start of the video. And look at that, Extravision. We all grew up with Extravision. People my age, a bit younger, older, we all grew up with Extravision. This was Extravision's own cassette tapes. I don't have many of these. No, I don't have many of these at all. Of Extravision doing their own videos. You know? Cool, huh? Because usually there were like, was it Panasonic or JVC or something like that? You got the E180, which is 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hour blank high grade video cassette, but Extravision did their own videos entertaining you. I know it's backwards, but yeah, it's so cool. It's the only one I have of Extravision. They're they're, they're boxes, Yeah, it's really worn out, you know. Does anyone remember these? Anyone? Because I don't really remember them at all. Um, but I always went to Extravision. Always. Chartbusters and Extravision. I always went to them too. But I don't really remember them too well actually selling video cassettes. You know what I mean? I don't really remember that too well. Even though as a child, I always went to Extravision. Anyway, yeah, Extravision made their own videos. It's class, isn't it? I mean, they're now defunct. They've been gone a good few years, which is sad. Anyway, skipping past the topic. Yeah, okay. So I'm just thinking about Extravision and I really miss it. Because the internet came along. Anyway, Rebel Without a Cause was a 1955 movie with James Dean, and if you don't know the film, um, he's a young fella. In real life, he was actually 24 when he played the character, but he's supposed to be a 17-year-old or something. And he goes to this school, and he's not really getting along with people. And there's this guy called Buzz, who's like the most popular kid in school. Corey Allen is the actor, I believe. I haven't seen this film in a long time, so I'm remembering the names here, like Corey Allen. I think it's Corey Allen. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But anyway, he was like the Buzz. He was Buzz. He was the character Buzz that Corey Allen played, and they do this thing called a Chicky Run, where they're driving cars where Buzz and Jim Stark, yeah, which is James Dean's character, and they're driving along, and then James Dean's driving along, and then he opens up the door and then jumps out, and then Corey Allen, he gets his he's got this black leather jacket, and he has this part of the jacket, I don't know what it is, like part of around his arm, on the jacket, gets caught into the door handle, and he can't open up the door, and he's smoking a cigarette, I think. It's a long time ago since I've seen it. No, maybe he's not smoking a cigarette. James Dean is smoking a cigarette in the car. No, sorry. Corey Allen's got a comb in his mouth. He's got a comb in his mouth, and anyway, he's like, he's trying to get it out, and he's got the comb in his mouth. Like, I'll just do this with my Terry's chocolate orange, which is a great chocolate orange, by the way. He's like this, trying to get this out, and he drops, and he's like, he goes over the fucking cliff. James Dean jumps out of the car, he does this like little tumble. That's fucking class. And anyway, yeah, he makes friends with Sal Mineo and Natalie Wood, and they're the two. Sal Mineo is an outcast. He's only about 17 in the film in real life, and Natalie Wood, she's part of the bad group, the Greasers or whatever they're called. I don't know, the bad kids, whatever. And she decides to become friends with James Dean. And so anyway, James Dean, Natalie Wood, and Sal Mineo hang out. And anyway, the other guys are out to get them, because basically they blame James Dean for the death of Corey Allen character Buzz. They blame him for Buzz's death. So the three of them are out hanging around for the night, And James Dean, there's one point where he goes back to his parents' house, and he's wanting his dad to stand up for him, and his mother is such a controlling figure, and she's a real controlling person, and he's like, he grabs his dad, stand up, like he's the kid who's basically making his dad be, the authority figure, and he grabs him, he fucks him on the ground. And he grabs him by the throat, and he's strangling him. It's fucking crazy. And James Dean ends up kicking like a painting or something like that, and he fucks off out the door. So like, it's just like, anyway, basically, the three of them, anyway, they end up fucking off to this, building, and there's like this, like a drowned out swimming pool or something like that, and then the other guy, Dennis Hopper's one of the bad guys in the film, and him and the other guys are all out to get them, and they want Jim in particular because he caused the death of their leader, their main guy, Buzz, and so anyway, Jim ends up with in this planetarium, because near the start of the film, he's in this planetarium in California. And so he's in this planetarium, and basically Jim is talking to this cop that he met. At the very start of the film, Jim got drunk. And once he got drunk, he started talking to this cop, Ray something, I think his name is. Anyway, basically, James Dean sees this guy again, and he's like, is Ray Framick or whatever. I think it was something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked this film in a long time, but I'm just going by memory, and I'd rather do it that way. Anyway, he's basically seeing him, as Ray out there, like kind of shit, and basically, he is out there, that guy Ray, and he's he's out there, he's on the fucking loudspeaker and everything like that, and Sal Mineo was in there. He's scared and stuff like that, and Natalie Wood's in there, and basically there's one part where James Dean gets the gun off Sal Mineo, and so basically, I haven't seen this film in 20, 30 years. No, not 20, 30 years, but about 20 years. I don't know when it was. Not that old, 20, 30 years. So I saw it in 1999 for the very first time, 1999. So that was 25 years ago, 26 years ago this year. So yeah. Anyway, James Dean anyway goes outside, and basically, he's saying, your man will come out. I think Salmoneo shoots some guy. It's a long time ago since I've seen. Like I said, I just want to really just talk about my memories of this film. Never mind the plot, but I'm just gonna go into the plot anyway from my memory. So yeah, I think Salmoneo goes out and he gets shot by the cop, and because he's got a gun, and then James Dean, he's like, holds out his hand saying, "I've got the bullets, I've got the bullets." It's like, "I've got the bullets," and I always remember that scene. It's great, and yeah, Salmoneo falls down to the ground, and he's wearing two different colored socks because James Dean saw him earlier on when him and when the three of them are hanging out, and James Dean sees that Salmoneo was wearing like a red sock and a blue socker, I think it was. And yeah, and he starts to laugh at first. Like originally he was laughing, but when Salmoneo was killed, you know, Mineo was lying on the ground, and he's got like two different color socks, and James Dean's laughing and he cries, and he's holding on to his dad, I believe. He's like, hold me, hold me, very, very dramatic because he's a very method actor. And yeah, it was a great film. Anyway, as a teenager, like all teenagers were, we all loved, I don't know, all of us, right? I can't speak for all of us when we're teenagers, right? I loved this movie. Um, hmm. I remember when I was in boarding school, and in 1998 to 1999, I remember I was I stayed in this boarding school in Drogheda, and I remember, like, because I stayed in the boarding school, with shower, with the people in in the morning time, and then you'd, after the shower, you get up and you do your hair, and I would gel my hair. I gelled my hair every day when I was 14 or 15, and I was 14, 15. No, okay, I went to boarding school in September 98 to July or June of 1999. So there you go. I was 15. So the entire time being 15, I gelled my hair. 14 as well, I gelled my hair all the fucking time. Anyway, I remember there was like people saying, why do you don't come to school dressed like James Dean? Because I told them I love James Dean. Because I would do the hair thing. I comb it all the way back with the gel and stuff. Even though my hair was dark and James Dean was blonde, but I still wanted to look like him. I mean, it didn't look good in the late 90s to try and look like a guy from the 50s. You might get away with that now, but you wouldn't get away with that then. I mean, then it was like everyone had the kind of same old fucking hairstyle and shit like that. But back then, no way would you get away with a different hairstyle. Everyone had to look the fucking same. Everyone had to dress the same. Everyone had the same everything. Kind of like now, I suppose a lot of people have the same kind of personality and hairstyle and stuff like that. I kind of noticed that, but anyway, that's a different generation. But you see, the thing is, right, the late 90s, it wasn't very acceptable to like kind of look retro, you know, to look different, and I want to look like that, but I was like, oh, okay, I was ridiculed, but that was like, okay, I just have to. No, I mean, I mean, I didn't mind my hair being like flat down and then combed up, and then to the side, I was fine with that. I didn't mind that, but I just wanted it maybe just a couple of times because I was obsessed with James Dean to have it kind of like combed all the way back with a big bushy mad thing. I did do that later on in my late teen years, and I had no one judging me on that one. But yeah, I mean, yeah, when you're a teenager, I mean, like that's the thing. Like, it's different in the 90s. Oh my god, being a teenager in the 90s in Ireland, fucking mad. If you look different, I mean, like I just my hair I just wanted to look a little different, because like I was obsessed with like movies and stuff like that. Dress wise, I looked the fucking same, whatever. But I just wanted to look like the 1950s James Dean. I wanted to have that fucking hair, I wanted to look cool, but I don't know. The whole country has changed. The whole world has changed. You know, you could probably look like that now, and no one would give a shit. But um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people are more judgmental, I guess, back then, just over a hairstyle. You know, I remember thinking like that. I remember thinking like hairstyles were like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, just because you want to have it look a little different. I mean, you got the world changed now. You got the people with their sexualities and their identification and all this kind of stuff that I don't care. I don't care any about that shit. It's whatever. It's nothing to do with me. I don't care about that stuff. But I just wanted my hair just to look like an actor from the 50s because I kind of wanted to look like retro. I kind of want to look cool. Just for a couple of days, like I mean, just look cool. But yeah, I mean, like yeah. But anyway, I was fine enough with my hair just being the way it was, just flat down. But yeah, I mean, no, I really wasn't really that okay with it. I mean, I liked my hair looking flat down and whatever. The fringe up the top. I had this comb down hair, the fringe up the top, and gel. I always gelled my hair. But just to be different, with the hair and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about people. You know, I mean, I was never judged about anything really. I mean, like, as a teenager, I was just a teenager. Like, I just wanted to look like, just for 1 week, like James Dean. Because like he had such an inspiration on me. Like James Dean was like, I mean, like, come on. I mean, how many generations has he inspired over the decades? I just happened to live in Ireland during that. I mean, maybe if you're living in America, it might have been a different story. I mean, I remember seeing films in the 90s and those actors with their hair looking like James Dean, looking like the way I wanted to have it done, and no one gave a shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I just don't know what to talk about with that film, but I don't know. I'm kind of going off fucking talking mad stuff, but yeah. I mean, it's interesting how the world has changed, but it's just Ireland was just like a fucking different world back then. You know, you just want to have a different hairstyle, and that was it. Anyway, a different hairstyle, and people, like, haha, you're different. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's a fucking hairstyle. Like, I'm the same person. Like, there's nothing, But anyway, that's Ireland back then. Nowadays, it's different. I mean, there's so many different people out there with different everything. Like I just said earlier on, with identities and stuff like that. I don't know. I think the whole identity thing is a bit weird. That's them. But all I'm talking about is a hairstyle. You know, and that all it took back in the late 90s for people to think, oh my god, this is strange. Not that they think you're weird. They don't think you're weird. They don't think you're fucking something wrong with you. They just think like, God, it just stands out because it was so I don't know, just I don't know, just like it's like a hair out of place. Once you have a hair out of place, oh my god, look at this guy over here. He's fucking different. His hair not different. I said, look, I don't know. His hair's out of place, so he looks like he's look at him. I'm gonna laugh at him. That's basically what they do. They just laugh at you because you want something a little different, which is retro and stuff like that. I don't know. Fuck. Anyway, kind of going off a little bit here, but I'll just leave it at that about Rabbit Head Cause. Anyway, yeah, great film, great teenage memories. I'll leave it at that.